Take a ping pong ball and cut it in half. Tape one half over each eye. Sit under a red light so that everything you can see is the same featureless red. Put on headphones and play static, loud enough that there is nothing left to listen to. Then wait. For the first few minutes, nothing happens. Somewhere around a quarter of an hour, most people start to see things. Shapes first, then landscapes, corridors, faces, figures that move on their own. Those instructions are not a party trick, and they were not invented on the internet. They are a laboratory protocol, and the experiment they belong to was built to detect telepathy. Written down, published, and followed exactly in a research program that ran for the better part of 20 years. The halved ping pong balls are in the methods section. So is the red light, so is the static, and so is the half hour. Every one of those details is there for a reason, and the reason has nothing to do with hallucinating. Here is how it actually worked. One person sits in the red light with their eyes covered and the static running. That person is called the receiver. In another room, sealed off from them, a second person is shown a picture chosen at random and spends the next half hour trying to send it. The receiver is given one instruction: talk. Say what you see out loud continuously for 30 minutes, whatever comes. And a third person, who has deliberately not been told what the picture is, sits and writes all of it down. At the end, the receiver is shown 4 pictures and asked which one it was. So the hallucination is not a side effect of the setup. It is the entire point of it. The thinking behind the design was that if telepathy exists at all, it is a very faint signal, and that ordinary sensation simply drowns it out. Take the sensation away, and whatever is left underneath should have room to surface, which means the images your brain manufactures when you give it nothing to work with were never a curiosity to these researchers. They were the reading on the instrument, the thing being measured. With 4 pictures to choose from, guessing alone gets you 1 in 4, 25%. Across the ganzfeld experiments published between 1974 and 1982, receivers picked the right picture more often than that. Not dramatically, but consistently and across a lot of sessions. Then a psychologist named Ray Hyman went through those studies one at a time. There were 42 of them. He found problems in all 42 and sorted them into 12 categories. How the pictures were randomized, how they were handled, whether the person scoring the session could have worked out the answer. Then Hyman and Charles Honorton, the researcher whose program it was, sat down and wrote a joint statement. 2 people on opposite sides of the question, signing the same page. They agreed there was an overall significant effect that could not reasonably be explained by selective reporting. They agreed they still disagreed about what it meant, and they set out what a clean version would have to look like. So Honorton built it. Target selection, randomizing, recording, all handed to a computer so no human hand touched the answer. 11 studies, 329 sessions, 106 correct picks, about 32% against a baseline of 25. And then other people tried it. In 1999, Julie Milton and Richard Wiseman gathered 30 ganzfeld studies run by other laboratories and pooled the results. The combined effect was flat, near enough to 0. Wiseman noticed something else, and it was awkward. Hit rates rose in step with how often a particular target came up. That is the pattern you would expect if something about the target were reaching the experimenter by sound, rather than through anybody's mind. Other researchers pooled a different set in 2010 and got the effect back. It has gone back and forth like that ever since. So the telepathy question is not settled here, and it is not going to be. What is settled is the smaller things sitting underneath it. Put a person under a featureless red light with static in their ears, and inside about 15 minutes, their brain will begin producing images out of nothing at all. That result never needed defending. It works on almost everybody, every time. It is the reason the experiment was designed this way, and it is the reason the videos exist. People have been running the protocol for 50 years without ever being told that is what it is.